You're welcome to start seated flat, or you can sit on your knees, just any comfortable position that's working for you right now. And same way that we always start, we'll just start to drop in. If you want to close the eyes or focus on a point in front of you. And as you just start to connect to your breath and to how your body's feeling right now, just want to share that this is going to be a class where we're just kind of going to travel through different emotions a little bit. So I've been sharing with some of my friends that I've been extra moody lately. I usually go between a few emotions of being really happy and energetic, or maybe feeling kind of sad and dwelling, and then just anxiety is always just thrown in there somewhere. But lately I've just been feeling every type of way, and so just starting to give yourself permission right now before we even get into anything to just allow yourself to sit with any emotions that come up in class, or any emotions that you're already coming into class with. And just having kind of the awareness right now that we experience a wide range of different emotions. There's not necessarily good emotions or bad emotions, but just maybe emotions that are more comfortable or less comfortable. And so maybe just starting to reflect on what emotions are coming up right now. And we'll start to increase the depth of the breath. So taking full breaths in through the nose, feeling the stomach fill up, maybe the chest fills up. And maybe parting the lips on the exhale, feeling everything relax. We'll just take a few more like that. Full breath in. Relaxing sigh out. One more. And so we'll start to move around the neck and the shoulders. And so stress is an emotion that's pretty relevant and heavy all the time. And so what we can do is just start to bring attention to the neck and shoulders. On the inhale, you can sit up a little bit taller, maybe reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling, feeling a little length in the back of the neck. And exhale, just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. So we're just gonna move in and out of this on each side. Inhale right back up to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And just keep flowing through this with your own breath. You can go at a speed that feels comfortable for you. Noticing any feelings that are coming up in the neck. We hold a lot of stress and tension right here, so maybe it feels kind of tight. And you can finish up about one more round on each side. And then we'll meet back in the center. Just doing a few more different ranges of motion. On the inhale, same thing, crown of the head going up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest. Maybe even lifting the chest up towards the chin, just enough to feel a stretch on the back of the neck. And then on the inhale, you can keep that lift in the chest if that feels okay, and just start to round the shoulders back, lift up the chest towards the ceiling a little bit more, and the head can drop back. And then same thing, in and out of these at your own pace. Exhale will bring the chest and the chin towards each other. And then the inhale will bring the head back. You can do about 4 more. You're welcome to hang out in one position a little bit longer if that's feeling right for you. And one more set. And after you drop the chin down towards the chest, the next inhale will come up to center. And now we'll just go side to side. So we'll start off with just the head, and then I'll throw in another option for you. So again, reset. Inhale, reach the head nice and tall towards the ceiling. On the exhale, you can turn the chin over the right shoulder. Inhaling for center. Exhale, chin over the left shoulder. I'm just seeing myself and realizing I still have my mask on, but it looks like a fashion statement, so it works. So we'll just do a few more sets. Inhale, center, exhale. We have a lot of new versions of normal going on right now, and I think I'm starting to accept that I'm getting a little bit sassier with everything that's going on. Maybe owning a new emotion for yourself or some activity that you've been getting into recently. Finish one more set on both sides. And then now, the next time you turn your head towards the right shoulder, see if you can look towards the left with your eyes. Noticing how that feels, maybe a lot of screen time lately. And then we'll inhale everything back to center. Exhale, chin over the left shoulder, looking towards the right. And we'll just do one more on each side. We won't stay with this one for too long. Again, noticing how it feels for the neck, for the eyes, even for the legs, depending how you're sitting. Maybe you're ready to move. We'll inhale back to center. Inhale, just do a big circle up with the arms. The palms can touch at the top. On the exhale, right arm drops down, reach up and over with the left. Inhale, center. Exhale towards the left, reaching up and over with the right hand. Again, we'll just do a couple more each side. Notice if you want to add anything to this. Maybe you have a bend in the arm that's supporting you, maybe a rotation of the top wrist. You can just kind of feel it out. We'll do one more each side, or enough for you to finish another set. And just checking in with the side body, noticing if you can take the stretch a little bit further, or maybe it feels like too much and you come out a little bit. And we'll land with the hands together up overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands all the way down to the center of the chest. And just having one more little moment of reflection. So maybe noticing any feelings that are coming up now, or maybe noticing the pace and the quality of the breath. See if we can take one full breath here together. And you can sigh out the mouth. And then we'll inhale, arm circle all the way back up. This time you'll just shift yourself forward so that you find a tabletop. And you can use a blanket or anything you need to use, supporting the knees. From our tabletop, you can just take a couple movements side to side, rocking the hips around. Also forgot to introduce my lovely pillow pet back here, my little dolphin looking kind of rough. But there you go, you've been formally introduced. Couple more side to side. And then pausing back in the center, starting to lift the right leg up behind you. You can flex your foot and just check in right here, see how we're feeling. And then slowly start to bring the right foot all the way to the left. So wherever you're able to go, that's perfect. And then keeping the hands pressing into the floor, the mat, whatever you're working with, you can start to turn your head to look towards the right foot. And then just check in right here. If we can see if we can hold for 3 more deep breaths. Again, trying to look towards the back foot. If that's not working, you can look somewhere towards the floor, wherever you have access. Take another deep breath in. Big breath out. See if you can keep the inhales and the exhales through the nose. One more inhale. Exhale. Next, inhale, turning your head all the way back to center. You can reach the right leg long behind, kind of rotating the ankle a few times. We'll see if we can keep the right leg lifted. On the inhale, maybe reaching the left hand forward, finding a little bird dog action. Reaching through the back heel, reaching through the front fingertips. You can see what it feels like to pull the low belly in a little bit. One more inhale to reach. Exhale, drop the hand and the knee down. You can do another little wiggle side to side, or if you want to do a couple cat-cows before we switch sides, you can. And I'm realizing I am very close to the wall, so I'm not going to be able to do this side, so you can just listen to my voice and use your own body. But finding our center again. Next, inhale, left leg kicks behind. Again, really reach through the left heel. And slowly exhaling to bring the left foot as far as you can towards the right. I think I'm about to kick Penelope too. And then when you're ready, starting to turn to look towards the left foot or wherever you're able to look. And 3 more deep breaths. And really sending the left heel away towards the back of the room. Maybe closing the eyes here if you'd like, just kind of checking in with where you're really feeling the stretch. Take another breath in, breath out. Next time we breathe in, the head can come to center. Left leg still reaches back. If you need to tap the toes down for a little rest, you can, or keeping the foot lifted, reaching the heel towards the back of the room. Low belly can pull in a little bit, belly button towards the spine, and then inhaling, right hand reaches forward. Again, we'll take 3 deep breaths, noticing any shakiness in the body, any warmth starting to generate in the back leg or the supporting arm. We'll take another breath in. Exhale, hand and knee drop down. Exhale, this time for child's pose. And so if you'd like to give the wrists a little bit of a break, you can bring the knees all the way close together. Let the forehead rest down, and then the arms can rest by your sides. The tops of the hands are flat, and we'll take a few deep breaths right here. Maybe having a little rock side to side, massaging anything that's making contact with the floor. Checking back in with the feels, the heart, the breath. And we have different needs, mentally, physically, emotionally. And so if there's anything that's usually working for you that's not for tonight, know that that's okay. And then vice versa, something maybe you're usually not into, maybe it's working, go with it. Take one more deep breath here, full inhale through the nose. Feeling the belly fill up with air, maybe on tops of the thighs or between the thighs, and then big dramatic exhale through the mouth. Letting all that air go. Next, inhale, pulling right back up into a tabletop. We're just gonna take it right into downward dog. So you can start to walk the hands forward, starting to tuck the toes. Exhale, send the hips up and back. And taking your time to really feel into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Do any rocking of the hip side to side. You can shake the head out a few times. And then whenever you're ready, we'll all meet, seeing if we can hold in stillness and downward dog. Seeing if you can really push the ground away from you with the hands, spreading the fingers nice and wide. We'll rise up high on the toes so the heels are lifted. Really reach the hip points up towards the ceiling. Thinking about reaching the hip points up and then back, keeping that lift, slowly dropping the heels back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift up high, high, high on the toes. Keep lifting up the hip points towards the ceiling. Push the ground away with the hands. Exhale, keeping that lift, heels drop down. Next, inhale, we'll start to walk the hands back to meet the feet and really take your time, feel it out all the way into our forward fold. Once you get to your fold, again, you can give a little break for the wrist if you want to drop the tops of the hands down, having a deep bend in the knees. Can allow the chin to drop towards the chest, crown of the head heavy towards the floor. Take another full breath in. Long breath out. Next, inhale, we'll bring the hands to the shins for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Next, inhale, arms circle all the way up, palms touch at the top. Exhaling, hands down to the center of the chest. And we'll pause for a moment in our mountain pose. You can relax the shoulders down and back. If the eyes are open, maybe looking down towards the fingertips. Seeing if you can have a little lift up towards the chest, towards the thumbs. Exhale to settle, feeling the weight of the feet in the floor. And noticing how it feels to just be right here. And then we're gonna keep moving through some emotions. So the first one that we're gonna work with is one that I've been feeling, which is kind of anger and frustration. So what we're going to do, I'm just gonna turn so you can see, but you can set yourself up in a way that feels right. We're just gonna take a wider stance. And then you can turn your feet out, almost like we're gonna go into goddess pose. If you know what goddess pose is, if not, don't worry about it, we'll do it. And so having the toes out towards the side, you can have a little bend in the knees. Up to you, whatever is feeling okay. If you want to have kind of a wide squat and really work your leg muscles, you can, or you can keep it a little bit lighter in the knees. And so when we're feeling angry and frustrated, we have a lot of pent up energy that we're just wanting to release. That's why when people are angry, there's kind of like rage episodes and stuff like that. There's just a lot of energy that needs to be released. And so we're going to do mindful boxing. So you can have your arms by your side, making fists. We're going to go through 3 different movements connecting with breath. I'll probably start to confuse them a little bit. So again, just follow your own movements. We're going to start with jabs using an exhale. So starting with the right hand, you can punch, exhaling, inhale to pull your hand back. Switch, going to the left hand, exhale to punch, inhale, slowly bring it back, and keep following that with your own breath. And you can have the stretch for the hips if you want to, keep going a little bit lower maybe. And then we'll add on. So we have our jab, jab. Now we'll do hook, hook. Same thing with an exhale. Adding on those 2, jab, jab, hook, hook. If you've been feeling frustrated and a little bit of angry too, maybe really get into this one. And if you have your knees like I do, kind of more in a squat, you can think about sending the knees towards the wall behind you. That might give you a little bit more of a hip stretch. We're just gonna add on one more time. So we have our jab, jab, hook, hook, and then we'll go uppercut, uppercut. Again, all exhales. Just a couple more. Last one. After your last one, inhale, come all the way up with the hands. Exhale, wide forward fold. Again, you can let the hands be heavy. Maybe tops of the hands rest on the ground. You can do a little rocking side to side and the legs bending into one knee at a time. And just connect to the breath. Notice if the breath was a little bit faster now. And then taking deep conscious breaths to slow it back down. Slow the heart rate back down. If you're still moving side to side, pause back in the center. You can grab opposite elbows and let the head get heavy. Full breath in through the nose. Big exhale out the mouth. We'll release the fingertips back towards the ground. Inhaling, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Light bend in the knees. Next inhale, we'll circle all the way up. Palms touch at the top. You can look between the palms as they meet. Slow down the exhale, guiding the hands all the way down to the center of the chest. Again, meeting here for a couple breaths. And just checking in how that felt. A lot of times we think about anger as a negative emotion, but if we were happy all the time and we didn't get angry, that would mean that we didn't really care about much. So when we get angry or a little bit frustrated or irritated, it means that there's something that we feel isn't right usually. And so not that all anger is justified, but just saying sometimes it is. So now we'll go into a little bit of goddess to keep moving with the hips and get any leftover built up energy and tension that we need to. So you can go back to turning off the toes. We'll inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, bending right back into the knees. Hands can go to the center of the chest. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. You can drop the tailbone down. Again, think about sending the backs of the knees towards the wall that's behind you, opening up the hips a little bit more. Ooh, I almost crashed right into my window. Okay, so we'll play around with a little bit of movement. You can stay right here. Or maybe the next inhale, the right heel lifts. Exhale to bring it down. Next inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, bring it down. Next inhale, both heels lift. Ooh, that crack was kind of weird. Exhale, bring the heels down. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale it down. Inhale, arms come all the way up, straighten out the legs, palms touch. Exhale, right arm drops down, reach up and over with the left. Again, feeling a little stretch on the left side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side, left arm down, right arm reaches. One more each side. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. And exhale. Inhale back to center, palms touch. You can start to toe, heel the feet all the way back in. Exhaling, bringing the hands to the center of the chest. Okay, pausing for another breath. And so another emotion that I've been hearing from a lot of people, or just kind of something that's coming up, is low self-esteem or a lack of confidence. And so something that we can do for that, we'll go into warrior pose. So from mountain pose, you can keep your hands at the center of the chest. On the exhale, stepping the left foot back, and back toes, a little bit of a diagonal. We'll start to bend into the front knee. And before we even move the arms, just connecting with the legs. And so you can start to press into the front foot, pressing into the back foot, just enough so that you're feeling a stretch in the left hip. And then when you're ready, you can start to reach the arms up. And we'll take a few breaths here, reaching through the fingertips, trying to pull the shoulders down a little bit away from the ears. And so when we're feeling like we have low self-esteem and not a lot of confidence, we tend to want to make ourselves small. Maybe you see people like crossing their arms, or you just don't feel like you deserve to take up a lot of space. And so as you can see with warrior pose, we're making ourselves big, taking up a lot of space, and just kind of owning the space that we're in. So on the next inhale, you can look up between the hands, maybe lifting the chest up a little bit, going into a slight back bend. And exhale, we'll bring the hands to the ground. You can lift the back heel up, so we're in a runner's lunge. Take another deep breath here. And on the exhale, pressing into the hands, we'll go right into downward dog. And so pedaling up the feet if you need to. Taking another 2 breaths here, moving around or being still. Allowing ourselves to catch our breath, let go of any muscle tension in the legs. Next inhale, glancing forward up the hands, and you can do a little walk to the top of the mat. Landing in our forward fold. Inhaling, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Next inhale, arms circling all the way up, palms touch at the top. Exhaling, hands to the center of the chest. So setting right up for our second side. Again, you can step the right foot back. And you don't have to commit to wherever your foot landed. Figure out how far apart you want the feet. Starting to connect to the feet, so pressing the feet into the ground. Bending into the front knee, straightening out the back leg by pressing the outer edge of the foot into the ground. And take another moment here, do any adjustments you need to do. And then as you're ready, inhaling, arms reach up. And maybe looking between the hands, or you can choose to look forward, whatever's feeling right. And maybe closing the eyes and just owning, taking up all the space that you are right here, right now. Giving yourself permission to take up space. Another deep breath in. Big breath out through the nose. One more time, big breath in. You can look up towards the hands if you aren't already. Chest lifts up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come all the way to the floor, framing the front foot, finding runner's lunge, back heel towards the back of the room. Another deep breath in. And press the hands into the ground, step right back to downward dog. You can stay there for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, drop the knees down, exhale, hips towards the heels for child's pose. And taking 3 breaths when you get there. Connecting back to the breath, rocking the head side to side. Take one more full inhale. Exaggerate the exhale. Next inhale, we'll come up into a tabletop. And so another emotion we're going to work with is fear. And so we are in some pretty scary times. If you haven't been scared the last few months, that sounds like a big deal. And so what we'll do is we'll play around with lion's breath and a cat cow. And so when I think of fear, again, I think of just being really scared, similar to self-esteem, wanting to make yourself small. And so we're going to do lion's breath to make ourselves feel big and bold. And so what we'll do is we will inhale into our cat pose. And so pressing the ground with the hands, inhale, curl the belly button towards the spine, chin towards the chest. And then we'll exhale into cow with a lion's breath. So it might feel weird, but whatever. Inhale into cat, rounding the spine, exhale, and just keep it going about 5 sets. And really stick your tongue out of your mouth, let yourself roar. We'll do last one. And after that last one, you can just start to walk your hands back towards your body, sitting on your heels. We'll allow our hands to rest on the thighs. Just as crazy uncomfortable, you can sit flat on the floor. We're just going to take a moment to, again, pay attention to the feels, whatever came up with that. And so fear can also be part of our stress responses. And so we know stress can affect our memory, our mood, and a lot of things. And so learning how to notice and then move through our stress. And so a lot of it can be held in the chest. And so on the inhale, we'll start to pull the hands back towards the body, lifting the chest towards the ceiling, head can drop back, similar to how we started, but maybe making the movements a little bit bigger. And exhale, send the hands forward towards the knees, chin can drop towards the chest. We're just kind of doing a seated cat-cow now. Feeling how it feels in the back and the upper shoulders. You can grab onto the knees and kind of move the shoulders around a little bit. And just keep going for a few more breaths, adding any little other movements you might want. We'll do last two. And last one. Next time you exhale with the chin towards the chest, you can just do a couple rolls of the head, rocking the ears side to side. And then slowly coming back up to center. You can just shift the weight over so that you're bringing the legs out in front of you. And if you want something to sit on, you can have a blanket. I don't know where Penelope went, I didn't want to hit her. You can have a blanket to sit on or a pillow to sit on to make the hips a little bit higher. And we'll start just with Dandasana. So it looks really simple, but if you hold it, it feels like a lot. So we're basically just sitting with our legs straight out in front of us. If it feels like a lot, you can have a little bend in the knees. Seeing if you can have the feet flexed. And then our same posture awareness we start with, maybe pressing into the sit bones and reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And just allowing ourselves to be right here. Full breaths in. Long breaths out. And then we'll go into a little bit of movement for the hips. Actually, since we're already like this, let's do a forward fold. We'll inhale, bring the arms up and reach the fingers towards the ceiling. On the exhale, reaching towards the toes. You don't have to touch your toes, but you can think about reaching your chest in that direction. Maybe grabbing the outsides of the legs or the outsides of the feet. We'll have a full breath in. And then exhale, you can round, let the head get heavy. Again, having bends in the knees if you need to. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. One more exhale. On the inhale, rising all the way back up. And then from here, You can start to bend the right knee so that the right foot is underneath the left leg, and then we're gonna cross the left foot on top. So you're just stacking the legs. Basically, the left knee is on top of the right foot, left foot is on top of the right knee. And if this feels really uncomfortable, it doesn't have to be exact. And then we'll just have our hands placed in front. You can press into the fingertips so that you just kind of reach through the center of the chest. And we're gonna take it into a forward fold really slow so that you can notice what's happening in the hips. And whatever emotion or mood it is, a lot of stuff gets stored in the hips. And so we'll slowly just start to crawl the hands forward. Maybe already feeling a little something on the left side. Take it as far as you'd like. And you can allow the head to drop down. Maybe even the forearms drop to the floor. Again, it doesn't have to be any certain way, do you? And just settling in for about 3 to 4 breaths here. So we'll stay here a little bit longer. When I say 3 to 4 breaths, we'll probably like 5 to 7. Take a few more. And if you need to do a little rocking side to side. And take last 2 breaths here, maybe noticing if the upper body can sink a little bit heavier towards the floor or on top of the legs. Another full breath in. Any weird exhale you'd like to do. I'm trying to walk the hands back towards the body. Again, you can take it nice and slow. You know what we're doing now for the other side. So take your time if you feel like you want to stay there a little longer, or maybe you already came out and you're over it. That's cool too. And so we'll go into a little twist from here. You can keep it really gentle, starting to bring the left fingertips into the ground behind you. You can bring the right hand on top of the left knee and just maybe pulling on the left knee a little bit, turning the chest between the shoulders, looking towards the center. Take a full breath in. Maybe on the exhale, you drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, pulling the right shoulder down. One more little neck stretch for the right side. Inhale it back to center with the head, and then twist back to center with the torso. We can send both legs forward, maybe tapping the legs out a few times. And then we'll switch it up. So this time, left foot is on the bottom, right foot is on top. Wait, yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, next time we'll work on memory. And so having the right foot on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left foot. Trying to bring the fingertips on the ground in front of you, and inhaling to pull the chest forward. Exhaling to start to crawl the hands as far forward as you'd like. And take it slow, feel it out. And then you can allow the top of the head to get heavy and settle in, do whatever you need to do here for about 5 to 7 breaths. If it's feeling really intense or whatever you have going on, maybe just taking some even deeper breaths or bringing yourself out of it a little bit. Again, just acknowledging whatever experience you are having for right now, and then doing what you need to do to feel more supported. We'll take 3 more breaths. You can make the last breath the deepest one so far in this shape. Whatever exhale you need to do. Inhaling to slowly walk the hands back towards your body and taking it right into the twist. And whenever you're ready, right hand goes behind the low back, pressing the fingertips to the ground. Left hand on the right knee. You can use the hand to pull yourself into the twist, going as far as what feels safe. And then maybe dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. Left shoulder can drop down. One more breath. Inhale, head comes up to center. Whole torso turns forward. Again, straightening the legs out in front of you. You can tap it out a few times. And then starting to roll yourself all the way down to lying on your back. You can give a full stretch, rotating the wrists and the ankles a few times. And then we'll exhale, arms down by our sides, or maybe a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest, wherever you'd like to be for your final rest. And once you get to where you need to be, and any little adjustments, wiggles to set yourself up, and then just allow yourself to drop in and be there. Maybe the eyes close, or you find a point of focus on the ceiling, and just allow yourself to stay connected with the flow of the breath. And so while you continue to just rest, breathe, and be as you are right now, share the quote of the week and ring the singing bowl. And so the author is unknown, but the quote of the week says, "Summer's been great, but I'm ready to transform, to bring consciousness to my unconscious behaviors and then turn them into something beautiful. With generous compassion and gentle curiosity, anger can become motivation, pain can become creativity, and sadness can become empathy." And so just a reminder that there is never a wrong emotion to be having. Whatever emotion comes up for you is relevant and is trying to tell you something. And so giving it its attention so that you can move through it and hopefully support yourself in any way that you need to based off that emotion. And so thank you for showing up for class, honoring the light and the dark sides of us all. Namaste.